All right, guys, we're back with some more Screen Team action for you right here on KWOC Movie Reviews. We do new movies, we do movies on DVD, we also do some personal classics, and we've got one today, and I've got help from our good friend K-Rob. He's going to help us out with the next film. It's called Angels in the Outfield, and Angels in the Outfield came out in the mid-'90s. How old were you when that came out, Kyle?
I was 7.
You were 7. So you were like almost as old as the kids that were depicted in this film, right?
Pretty much, and one of the key characters in the movie, the guy's kind of very successful now, to say the least.
Yeah. Joseph Gordon-Levitt, man, he's definitely a big-time movie star now. For those who don't know, Angels in the Outfield, it's a movie about baseball, correct?
Yes, that's right. Joseph Gordon-Levitt, you mentioned, he plays an orphaned kid he's adopted, and he lives with another young kid named JP. And one night he says a prayer to his bed, wishing that his favorite baseball team be now Los Angeles Angels. They were the California Angels, wishing that they would be winners for once, because they were not a good baseball team. He just wanted something good to happen in his life, and wishing for your favorite baseball team to be good is not such a bad thing after all.
To me, they're always going to be the California Angels, but I digress on that. The California Angels, they're kind of like your typical baseball movie team. Whether you're talking about Major League or Rookie of the Year, those kind of baseball teams are not very good, and they're definitely not very good in this particular movie. They kind of stink, right?
Oh, they're awful. Just very, very run of the mill. Kind of does remind me of Major League in more of a kid friendly sense, where you got guys from all over the place who just, some of them look like they don't belong on a baseball field. Yeah, they're really bad, and their manager has a little bit of a short temper.
Yeah, what's up with Danny Glover, man? Danny Glover is the manager of the team, and he's kind of a jerk.
He's a surly guy, and you're thinking, wait, this is Danny Glover we're talking about. I mean, you want this guy to be your grandpa. He's the sweetest dude alive, but he used to be a very successful player, and as a manager, he has not had much success, and it's really, really wearing on him, and he takes it out on everybody.
So what turns things around for this team? Because they go from being pretty horrible to possibly winning the pennant. How do they get that turnaround?
Well, Roger, played by Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and his friend JP, they go to a game, and all of a sudden, a guy pops up next to Roger named Al. Nobody can see them but him, and he says, "You wished for us, and we're here to help." An angel came to the rescue, an actual angel.
So that's what's helping out the team be good. These angels are helping them be good at baseball, right?
Yes, and all these weird things are happening during the games, and nobody can explain them, and nobody can see how they're happening except for Roger. Only he can see. It's some of the goofiest stuff that you could ever imagine in a baseball game. You got a guy who comes up off the bench and he can't hit at all, and then all of a sudden it's the wackiest inside the park home run you've ever seen. You got exploding bats and all kinds of crazy stuff. And yes, they start winning. But no one knows how to explain it.
It's amazing the team that this team fields. I mean, my goodness gracious! You talk about that guy who got the infield home run. The catcher makes Babe Ruth look like Michael Jordan. I mean, that guy weighs like 500 pounds, but yet he's on a Major League Baseball team. It's a goofy array of guys playing for the Angels, but there's also some big names in this movie that kind of got their start in this film. Matthew McConaughey, Oscar winner, is in this film. Also, Adrian Brody, another Oscar winner. He has a small part in this film. Tony Danza is in it as well. Joseph Gordon-Levitt, as we mentioned before. So we've got a pretty good cast in this film.
Definitely, and yeah, you mentioned a few guys really getting their start through this film, which I always thought was just really wild. But then you mentioned Tony Danza, and he's one of the main focal points, at least from the baseball team's perspective, as he plays pitcher Mel Clark, who used to be a top level player, but he's on the downside of his career, and then it's revealed later on towards in the movie that he doesn't exactly have a lot of time left to live. So that line comes in handy very, very late in the film when it comes to crunch time for the Angels to win themselves a pennant. Another interaction I always enjoyed throughout the movie was the play-by-play man always giving Danny Glover's character George Knox a hard time all the time. Even though he's supposed to be a favored home announcer, he still just seems to have it out for the manager. I like that a lot.
Now, Kyle, I've seen this movie twice in my lifetime. I saw this movie when it first came out in 1994, and I've watched it again so I could review this film. And I've had two totally different experiences watching this film. When I was 14, really, really enjoyed this film. Watching it as a 36-year-old man, had a different experience. What was your experience with this film? Do you still like it at your age?
Absolutely. I always take myself back in my mind to when I was that age so I can enjoy it the same way that I could when I was a kid. And granted, I still look like a kid, even though I'll be 30 this year. It still gives me the same feeling, especially whenever it's corny and a little hokey at times. But if you think about it, that movie came out in 1994, the year the strike happened, and there were no good feelings towards baseball. So I think this movie gave people who were really missing their baseball, something to look forward to and something to feel good about when they thought about the game of baseball. So I think it served that purpose. And yeah, it's a little hokey, even a little corny, but I think it really was meant to be a source of positivity for the time. Now thinking about it later.
That's a very, very good point, something I didn't think about. Kyle, is this a movie that you're going to share with your daughter when she gets of age?
Oh, no doubt about it. Because also the same year, D2 The Mighty Ducks came out, so those are both happening. And I have Angels in the Outfield on VHS, I might add.
Oh man, every time, man, you got to put in a Mighty Ducks reference. I love it, Kyle.
Quack, quack, dude.
Thank you for being on the show, brother, and thank you for the good review of Angels in the Outfield, brother.
Anytime, man. It's always a pleasure to be on the show.
Coming up, we got a review of the movie Legend. It's coming your way next on KWOC.